Right, we've actually had these on a previous note page. Like I said, today it's going to be the same thing we saw last week. We're hitting it from a different side today. So slope of the line is still, y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. We're not really going to need to use that equation today, though. Okay, because when we're given the graph, instead of given the points, right, we're just kind of counting rise over run. The B, the y-intercept. This is very important, and this is still going to be where we start. Start here. Let's put write that. Start here. Okay, we don't need to spend a lot of time on these because we've done them before, but I do want you to go ahead and mark the y-intercept on each of those graphs. Again, the y-intercept is where it intersects the y-axis. Okay, that's a very important point on a graph. Where does it cross the y-axis? Right, that center line. It could cross at 1, it could cross at -1, it could cross at 0, it could cross at 2. Right, those are your B values. Okay, don't put y equals, put B equals, right? B equals, not y equals. Okay, so now let's jump into examples because it's basically it for taking notes. I do want you to write under y-intercept, go ahead and put B equals. The reason I'm going to harp on that is because I have a bunch of people, at least I did in first period, who were writing, y equals, and then they put their y-intercept. But y is that's a whole different number, right? Y equals mx plus b. B is our y-intercept. B is our y-intercept. Y is something else. That's our output, but we don't want to worry about that right now. This is our slope. Okay, so make sure you're not writing y equals, you're just writing b equals today. All right. What do we do? Well, we said we start at the y-intercept, so the first thing you always do is you just put a dot right on the y-intercept. Okay? Y-intercept is -4, right? I look at my y-axis, it's at -4. That's my y-intercept. My slope is just, what do I need to do to get to the next point on my graph? See, I have all of these points. I just need to get to the next one. So I go up 1, 2. So I'm going to write 2 right here, and I'm going to go over 1. So it's 2 over 1. And that language I'm using is very intentional. I'm saying up to over 1. What is it?
Would that just be 2?
Yeah, that would reduce to 2. Anything over the number 1, right, is the same thing as the numerator. It's just 2. And then, like we did our first day, where all said this is really easy, Mr. Land, you're just writing y equals m, and instead of m, we know what m is, so we're going to put 2. It's not unknown. X, y equals mx plus b. Instead of writing plus 4, we're going to write -4. Because writing plus -4 is silly. That's it for today in terms of the new stuff we're doing, right? So what we did last week, and it's really cool how fast y'all picked up on this. So y'all went from an equation last week, right, to being able to graph that equation from scratch. Okay, and that's a pretty big concept for your 8th grade year. This week, right, well, at least today, we're going to look at a graph, and you're going to be able to write the equation. I like to think about it as this is kind of like your written directions, right? If you needed to get somewhere like your house, you could say, well, take a left on Morton Street and then another left on Imperial, something like that, right? These are your written directions. This is the actual map. Okay, so now you can go from looking at a map and writing the directions, okay? And last week you went from, here's the directions, now draw me a map. All right, so both ways. Let's do a few more together. I'm going to have you do several of these on your own today. First step is always just put a dot on the y-intercept. It's at -2. And then the slope, looks like the same slope as our last one. We're going up 1, 2, over 1. So it's a slope of 2 over 1, or 2. Y equals 2x minus 2. Simple as that. And make sure when you do these, this formula, I mean, it'll start to become just like second nature. You'll remember y equals mx plus b. But I would just write it down for now on your assignment page today. Just write that at the top, just so you forget. Don't forget that m comes before b. Question so far? All right. Last one we'll do together. Y-intercept is at -3. Slope, is this a positive slope or a negative slope? Negative, yeah, we can just see that already. So just keep that in mind, but we'll just count the same way. Let's do a rise of 1, 2, 3, and a run of -1. We're going left 1. So that's going to be a slope of 3 over 1, 3 over -1, or -3. All right, and you could have, some of you might have, gone the other direction and gone, well, it's down 3, 1, 2, 3, -3, and then over 1. Still the same thing, exactly. Right, you're still going to get -3. Very good. Y equals -3x minus 3, and that's it. That's what you're doing today. I want, in terms of notes, there is a second page, I should say. I'm going to give you all about 5 minutes to work on these. I'll come around and answer questions as you have them, but have this one next to you. And again, the first thing, hit the y-intercept, and then count your slope, and then just put it into your equation. All right, just like we've been doing since last week. No, it's right there. There and there. All right, use your y-intercept as a point, and use this as a point. The one I will say is a little off is use this on number 6. You can always use your y-intercept, right, as a point, because that's a one they just give you. This graph is just a little hokey. Let's say this is the other point right there. Okay, I know it's not quite on it, but we'll use that one. Is that the question you had, Susanna? Rise over run. So how far up did you go? You get from here to here, how far up? Okay, so 1 over. Write down y equals x plus b. Y-intercept is where it crosses. And then the slope is 0. Check your negatives and positives. The negative slope needs to be negative. slope is 0. What is 0 times anything? 0. So x should be 0. X should just go away. No, y equals not negative, right? You feel positive. Y-intercept here is not negative 2, it's positive 2, right? Yeah, your slope's good. What is your y-intercept here? Where does it cross? Here's your y-axis. Where does the line cross it? Yeah, negative 4, down, right below, so it's negative 4. And then you draw a dot on negative 4. And then where's the, yeah, you already did it, so where's the next dot? Right there. Okay, how far up do you have to go to that dot? Yeah, remember. Flat line, right? The y-intercept is the same thing, right? And then the flat line has a slope of what? Flat lines have a slope of what? 0, right? And the y-intercept is at? Negative. Wait till we get to our break. Let's just achieve this. When you get done, you can start working on the assignment. It's just something. We'll check our notes in a second. Yeah. I'll double check on that. Yeah. I'm about to do forward. Rise over run. Rise, like you wrote. Rise is up and down. Run is left and right. So you went down 2. So you wrote your rise on like elevator. Elevator here. Okay, walking outside the elevator here. So elevator's on top. Up and down on top. Okay, I'm gonna after we finish the notes, we're gonna work on the assignment that looks very similar. It looks like this. But let's check our notes now. Make sure we all have the right answers on that. So number 4. You know what? I haven't done these in a while. Number 12. Nobody says fine. Number 14, Dylan. What's our y-intercept? Negative 4. And what's our slope? From here to here, we're going to go up 1. Right, so it's 1 over what? 3. 1, 2, 3. And is it negative or positive?
Negative.
Positive, right? And again, we went up a positive. Up is positive, so we went up 1. We went right. Right is also positive. Look at the numbers here. Right is positive. Left is negative. So there's no negative numbers involved. Up 1 over 3. Okay, so an equation, Dylan, looks like what? Y equals mx plus b. Right? Slope first. Yeah. Got that? Yeah. 1/3 x minus 4. Okay. Yeah, so write that equation, guys, at the top just to remind yourself. M slope. Right? We dealt with slope for several weeks now. Y-intercept is a little newer. That's our b value. Number 13 should be Daniel.
Yeah.
What's our y-intercept?
2.
2. Our slope?
2 over 1. 2 basically.
2 over 1, and it's negative 2. Yeah, and you said 2. Yeah, so negative 2 is your slope. And we went down 2 over 1, and so then our equation, put it together.
Y equals negative 2x.
Yep.
plus 2.
Yep, nice. Yeah, didn't need to be here last week. All right, here. Number 4, Garrett. What's our y-intercept on this one? On number 6, rather. Negative or positive? We're going up, right? This one? So positive, yeah. Positive 2. And then our slope, this was kind of a bigger one. Did you get the slope? The rise is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we're going down 6 and then over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep, negative 6 is 5. So we all got. All right, and then the equation, guys, it's just putting these, just like we did day 1. It's just putting y equals m, and it says m right here, right? Y equals negative 6 over 5x plus b. And again, our y-intercept is b. Do not think that's y just because it's the y-intercept. B is the y-intercept. All right, plus 2. Last one. Number 15, going to Gavin. What's our y-intercept here? 3, perfect. Slope of a flat line is what, guys? 0. And so our equation, y equals 3, right? We don't need to write y equals 0x plus 3 because that's just multiplying by 0 makes that go away. But make sure you don't write y equals x plus 3 because that would be a slope of 1. Alright, so it's just y equals 3. Alright, those kind of funny ones where they're real short like that, right? It's going to be a flat line, or if it's like x equals 3, it would be a vertical line at 3. Okay, but you'll notice those. Alright, that's it for notes. So go ahead and fold these, and let's just go ahead and glue them in and put our notebooks away. Or keep them out if you want to look at them while you're doing your assignment. Alright, I'm at page 43 and 44, it looks like. Yeah, I'm at 43 and 44. Yeah, skip ahead. Yeah, that assignment, hang on to it when you're done.